So, you want to get smart? In most of the world, you're told it takes 12 years of school, 4 years of college, and 6 years of graduate school to become smart. But let's be real. What you actually become is homeless. On the bright side, when you make that Reddit post about how you can't get a job, you can do it in perfect English. If you haven't guessed by now, becoming smart is actually pretty easy, even if you think your genetics are working against you. Compared to every other animal on Earth, you're already pretty overpowered. When people like you and me say we want to get smarter, we usually mean a few things. 1. We want to learn useful skills, ideally ones that make money. 2. We want to be good at solving problems, hopefully for money. 3. We want to flex on people by knowing difficult subjects. And lastly, we want to sound smart in conversations.
And lastly, we want to sound smart in conversations. Just enough to earn respect, but not so much that people think we're nerds. The problem? Most advice on the internet is so vague and philosophical that the only people who can follow it are Oprah and Socrates. Sure, these things sound good, but at some point, you have to actually learn stuff. Here's the deal. The main thing you need to do is read. What kind of reading? It depends. Fiction is great for learning to read faster, expanding your vocabulary, and, if you read a lot of dialogue, making you feel like you have friends. Nonfiction, on the other hand, is the key to casually dropping interesting knowledge in conversations. The key here is to not be obnoxious. No one likes a, well, actually, person. Instead, try something like, it's crazy how humans and chimpanzees evolved side by side, right? I just read about that the other day. See? You can be smart, humble, and still sound like you touch grass.
Now, how do you find these books? It's easy. Just think of a topic you want to learn about, like cleaning, and search for books on it. Sure, most books cost money, but sometimes your finger might accidentally slip, and you might accidentally find a free PDF. Here's the thing. Reading alone won't make you smarter. You have to use what you learn. For example, if you read a chapter on cleaning, go ahead and clean a room. It doesn't even have to be your room, just clean one. Now, you'll never forget it. But what if you can't practice right away? Let's say you're reading about cars, and you see a diagram on how to jump-start a dead battery. Not everyone has 2 cars lying around to practice on, but you can still imagine the process. By imagining yourself in that situation, you convince your brain that the information is useful, and now you'll remember it. This is basically how the entire school system works. You learn something, and because you won't use it for 15 years, your teacher creates an imaginary situation where it's useful. A test. The problem? Once the test is over, your brain says, "This is useless," and you forget it. So, what's the solution? Create your own practice questions. Pretend the stakes are high, like you're hanging off a cliff, and someone will only save you if you can name all the parts of a human cell. This is why textbooks are the S-tier format for becoming smart. No fluff, no hand-holding, just pure information and a bunch of practice questions. So, if you want to get smart, stop waiting for magic brain hacks. Start reading, start practicing, and start imagining yourself using what you learn. Because at the end of the day, being smart isn't about memorizing facts. It's about knowing how to use them.